Now at 10, after a day in the 50s, we've got winter weather advisories on the way in. I didn't mean to do that, folks. This is what I can put up with tonight going into Saturday. We'll start tracking the forecast coming up.
Plus, a Southwest Missouri school district removes a book about race relations from its lesson plans, and how Cox Health is beefing up its workforce and providing experience for students.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Ready or not, here it comes. Looks like snow for the weekend. Nick Kelly joins us with a first look at the weather.
It's a little hard to believe, Dow, considering how we went into the 60s on Thursday, 56 for a high today after a cold start at 33 degrees. But as you hit the nail on the head correctly, changes on the way. Pretty much the entire viewing area under winter weather advisories at the very least until 9 o'clock as we go into our Sunday night. We've seen the rain start to pick up on the radar network. Light rain around Joplin, light rain northwest of the area, but right where the colder air is really coming into play, that is the quick switch over to snow. That's going to continue to play out as our main storm system finally begins to sink right on top of the region. So let's finish first weather with this look at the future track here. It's doing a pretty good job picking up on how things look right now. I still expect by the midnight hour, much of southeast Kansas to see the rain switch over to snow. Rain around the immediate Joplin area, but give it till about 1 to 3 a.m. That's when the Joplin area will start switching over to snow. Then everybody's going to have to deal with snow as we go towards sunrise Saturday morning and off and on throughout the day on Saturday. In fact, we even had to up the snow amounts for some, Dow. We'll break that down in the full forecast here in a bit.
Catch you then. Controversy in the Monette, Missouri School District over the book Dear Martin. It covers race relations through the eyes of a black teenager. The school decided to remove it from lesson plans, saying teachers didn't go through the right protocol, not because of the subject. Shoshana Stahl reports.
Superintendent Mark Drake says any curriculum changes need to have input from teachers and administrators. Drake says the permission slip for the Dear Martin assignments had some concerning language.
The most concerning point of the permission form was that if their students chose not to read that book, they took it as the student was going to get more work in it and that it was going to be potentially harder.
But for parent Susie Gonzalez, she's concerned that the book won't be taught in school.
I just think it's important for this community to know that there are issues, that this does happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen to your kid, but it has happened to my kid. And it is very important for the community to know that this can be an issue and it should be addressed to the kids in their proper setting.
Gonzalez says for her son, he felt a personal connection to this book and was upset when the district pulled it.
His peers in his class started telling him that racism didn't exist, that there was nothing such as that to happen, and he was just talking about his personal experience, what he has dealt with in a personal level. And he had to excuse himself from the class and ask to be excused from there because he felt like he was being bullied by his peers.
Moving forward, Gonzalez hopes books are added into the curriculum that address topics like racism and poverty. The goal, making the community more open-minded.
Let's talk about how people are treated differently when it comes to class. I'm not just going to target racism, I'm going to target all of it. So to me, it is important for the community to know that this is a problem in their own backyard.
Monette superintendent says the district is now putting together a book review committee consisting of teachers, administrators, and parents to give community feedback. The U.S. Department of Transportation today launched the Bridge Replacement, Rehabilitation, Preservation, Protection, and Construction Program. The program uses funds allocated by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Plan to repair bridges across the country. In the 4 states, Missouri will receive $484.3 million. Nearly $97 million will come this year to repair nearly 2,200 bridges in poor condition. Kansas is set to receive $45 million this year, $225 million total for 1,300 bridges. And Oklahoma, with 2,300 poor condition bridges, will get $53.4 million this year, $266.9 million total. Less than 2 weeks, City of Joplin will require residents who operate short-term rentals to get a permit from the city. Short-term rentals are homes such as they use apps such as Airbnbs and VRBOs. Starting January 24th, all rental operators will need a permit and business license. They'll also be required to be at least 200 feet from another short-term rental, limit occupancy based on bedroom total, provide adequate parking, prohibit events, and post a list of information in the property itself for renters. That list includes things such as the Joplin Noise Ordinance and trash collection schedules. Cox Health is expanding its workforce to help out during the pandemic. The hospital group announced it's opening positions for college and high school students. The positions will be open at all of their facilities in southwest Missouri, including in Monette and Lamar. The positions will augment current staff and allow nurses to focus on patient care while the students take care of other daily tasks. For prospective students, it's an exciting opportunity.
I definitely think it would give that more in-your-face type of experience, only because a pandemic is not something that we go through all the time, obviously, and I think it just shows what healthcare really is.
If you're interested in applying for one of the positions with Cox Health, check out the information in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. Amid hopes Omicron will soon see its peak, the highly contagious COVID variant is still raging in a lot of parts of the U.S., and children are catching the virus at growing rates. Michael George reports.
Many Americans hoping to get tested for COVID face long lines and stores that are sold out of at-home tests. In response, the Biden administration is launching a website Wednesday that will take orders for up to 4 free kits per home. The site, covidtest.gov, will ship for no fee, but that could take more than a week. This Miami operation is running 24/7, producing at-home rapid test kits to keep up with demand.
People have seen the consequences of not knowing if they are infected or not. And I think that people are more aware of the value of being tested regularly.
After the Supreme Court blocked President Biden's vaccinate or test rule for large businesses, General Electric said it will stop imposing the requirements. Meanwhile, the Omicron variant continues its relentless spread across the U.S. Nationwide, pediatric hospitalizations are soaring more than 360%. On Friday, Alabama said a record number of children are in the hospital with COVID.
This is unprecedented. We have not seen this before.
While schools face mounting challenges around the country, a number of Chicago public school students walked out of classes Friday, saying they oppose the return to in-person learning after the district broke a stalemate with the teachers union.
And we need to stay safe, so we should stay home instead of going to school.
Protesters are calling for measures like improved contact tracing and allowing no fans at sporting events. Michael George, CBS News.
The CDC today posted updates on its guidance on masks, removing concerns over supply and saying properly fitted N95 and KN95 masks provide the best protection. Still ahead, an incoming winter storm is expected to worsen the problem of bare grocery shelves. We're going to look at when we should expect a return to normal. And the price of streaming on Netflix is rising again. Milk, bread, meat, and other basic goods wiped clean from many grocery store shelves across America. Stores are struggling to quickly restock while shoppers grow increasingly frustrated. Well, now severe weather in the forecast across much of the eastern half of the country threatens to make the problem even worse. Isabel Rosales reports on the devastating blows to the industry from the coronavirus to transportation problems.
Sleet, ice, and heavy snow. Another major winter storm set to slam into much of the eastern U.S. Raising alarms, it may pile on more setbacks for grocers. In the produce business for 25 years, Alfredo Larios can't find produce.
It's hard right now. I never seen this happen. This is new to us.
It's his business, keeping grocery stores and restaurants stocked.
We feel terrible because we don't know what the future what's going to happen.
We're talking about the probability.
Sechkin Oskul is a supply chain expert. He insists while there is enough food, it's not all getting to stores. The Omicron variant delivering a devastating blow to an already stretched thin workforce.
People are either quarantining or they are basically testing positive for this.
And Americans are changing up how they eat.
Some folks are just deciding to eat more at home.
And dangerous weather is crippling major travel routes. Last week, a backup on I-95 left truck drivers stranded for almost a whole day.
I think I-95 being shut down for 20 hours is pretty bad.
Jose Sandoval has been trucking goods for a decade.
I start at 4 in the morning. I go home at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock because I still not finished my route.
He sees the shortage of drivers like him as dire.
That's one thing that we need people to work, but they don't want to work.
It's not just grocery stores struggling. Samantha Segura's juice business is booming for now.
It's a new year, new me.
But with produce harder to come by,
they're not bringing in the products quick enough.
Her costs are going up.
Before, I used to get a box of grapefruit for like $13, and the price went up to $25 or $35 sometimes.
Oskil predicts some disruptions from this weekend's severe weather.
Again, I want us to tell the consumers to be a little bit more patient.
But forecast shoppers will see relief in the spring. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
If you want to keep streaming, you're going to have to shell out a bit more money if you're using Netflix anyway. The streaming giant is once again raising prices in the U.S. The subscription price for the standard plan in the U.S. went up to $15.49. The basic plan now costing $9.99. In a statement, Netflix said in part, quote, "We're updating our prices so that we can continue to offer a wide variety of quality entertainment options." It was identical to the statement released the last time it raised prices in October of 2020. The company's stock rose about 2% following the news. According to FAA documents, FedEx is asking for permission to modify some of its planes with lasers designed to misdirect missiles. The action comes after competitor DHL had an Airbus targeted with a surface-to-air missile just after takeoff from Baghdad in 2003. The FAA must consider whether the lasers would present danger to ground crews in terms of accidental eye and skin damage. FedEx has not responded to a request for comment about the proposed onboard missile defense system. Later, in what's become an annual tradition, the Chiefs are preparing for the playoffs. We're going to hear how they plan to repeat their recent success against the Steelers in sports.
But first, our cold front working through, switching rain to snow for some of you. We'll see how this plays out for Saturday when we come back. After 60s on Thursday, mid-50s for today, we're focused on our next winter blast in the form of colder air and snow as we go through the next 3 minutes at least while I have the floor. Easy to see much of the area in the blue. These are winter weather advisories taking us at the very latest until 9 o'clock going into tomorrow night. It's all in anticipation of this storm system that's been building for the past several days across the Northwest, the Northern Plains, the Upper Midwest. We saw how that system brought quite a bit of snow for those parts of the lower 48. Now it's our turn to get in on some of the snow. Not as much as what they saw to the north, but finally, for those of you that have been itching for some accumulating snow, we've got our shot rolling in tonight. We had some scattered areas of light drizzle, a couple light sprinkles, and maybe a few light showers throughout the afternoon and early evening hours, but now the rain's really picking up as the system's coming in. We had some light rain around Joplin, so let's say from about Stockton Lake to Pittsburgh, Joplin, down to Bartlesville points north and west. That is definitely precip coming on down, but as the cold front really filters in that colder air, we're definitely seeing that rain switch over to snow in our far western counties, like around Chanute, Yates Center, maybe back down toward Howard in Elk County. Not much to show right now from Indigo Sky. The live shot outside of Seneca, Missouri looking okay. Same goes for 7th Range Line from the east side of Joplin. A little light rain, otherwise cloudy, 47 degrees. A light east breeze for now at 6 miles per hour. And the humidity, rather, it is continuing to climb as more moisture is getting pulled in just as the cold front itself is beginning to work toward the US 69 corridor. We definitely have more 30s popping up in our northwestern counties, while areas around Joplin still trying to hold on to the upper 40s to near 50, but the numbers will continue to take a tumble as we get this cold front continuing to push on through. Then we got to deal with this inverted trough that Doug's been pointing out the past few nights. That's going to bring additional snow as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Not only that, the upper levels coming into play as well. This upper low coming out of Kansas and Nebraska, that is not only providing additional lift and moisture to keep these snow chances going as we go into tomorrow, it's going to keep us cold as we go through not only tomorrow, but to wrap up the weekend on Sunday. Here's midnight. Much of southeast Kansas should see everything switch over to snow, including a good portion of northeast Oklahoma west of 75. Then 1 to 3 a.m., that's when the Joplin area will see the rain switch over to snow. Then once we hit sunrise Saturday morning, throughout Saturday morning, and going into Saturday afternoon, the backside of the system will bring in light to moderate wet snow even some heavy bouts of pockets of those at times. And that is certainly going to mean much colder temperatures compared to the past few days. 30 in the morning, 34 by noon, holding around 33 as we go through the rest of tomorrow afternoon. And just quickly wanted to show you, once we get past 6, 7, 8 o'clock, the heaviest of the snow chances will be on its way out to the southeast. Now, as far as amounts, we've had to up these a little bit after conversing with Doug about this. A dusting to an inch from Chinook, Parsons, points west. Just to about the 69 corridor, 1 to 3 inches, but much of the area could see 2 to 5 inches of snow. It would not be surprising if some of our southern counties picked up some isolated 6-inch amounts of wet snow before all is said and done. Thankfully, we dry out for Sunday. Partly sunny skies returning, highs near 38 after starting at 21. 40s return Monday, Dow 50s on Tuesday. I'll watch for a couple of showers Wednesday and maybe a snow shower on Thursday.
Might be a mess for drivers, but some kids are likely to have some fun tomorrow.
Hopefully they will have some fun.
Thanks, Nick. Coming up, Webb City hosts Ozark for their conference home opener, and the Carl Junction girls hit the floor against Republic. The highlights next.
The Carl Junction girls have earned a 10-3 record through the first 2 months of the season, and they're ranked 5th in the state. The CJ looking for their 4th straight win against a 7-4 Republic team. Slow start for the Bulldogs. Destiny Berge gets the nice layup though. She scores all 8 of her team's points in the first, but they trail. But then Chloe Burke puts one in, bucket for 2. Tigers still with the lead. Nia Nambara adds 3. And just before half, Berge gets the bucket and the foul. 31 points for her. It's a 1-point game at the break. In the third, Kylie Scott snags the rebound, puts it back in. She finishes with 8. But a big fourth quarter allows Republic to pull away. Carl Junction falls tonight 52-43. The Webb City Cardinals face Ozark this evening to open up their conference home schedule. Pass out to Caden Turner for 3. Good start for Webb City. They've got a first quarter lead. Then Cole Vaden to Max Higginbottom in the corner. He knocks down the triple, finishes with 12. In the third, Trey Rotes looking, goes himself. Team high 25 points on the night for Rotes, 57-54 Cardinals. For Ozark now, Ethan Watley nails the 3 in the final minutes of the game. Ozark able to pull this one off, beating Webb City 80-75. The Kansas City Chiefs kick off the postseason in the AFC wildcard round against the Steelers. The Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites heading into the matchup. Less than a month ago, the Chiefs dominated the Steelers at home 36-10. They forced 3 turnovers in the game. Kansas City will look to do that again this Sunday and put some pressure on Ben Roethlisberger.
He's huge. He's smart. In my eyes, he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot. When you face these type of guys, they've been playing in the league for a long time. They know how to get themselves out of trouble, and they don't hold on to the ball as much as you would love them to as a defensive lineman. So, we got to pick our poison and try to affect them, whether it's getting our hands up or getting in his throwing lanes or whatever we have to do to affect the quarterback.
That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Private First Class Thomas Barker served in the U.S. Army during World War II. He was stationed in Germany with the 533rd Battery under General Patton. His hometown, Nevada, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Private First Class Thomas Barker. He's tonight's four-state hero. A simple call for birthday wishes turned into a community-wide celebration for an Alma, Kansas woman turning 102 years old. Alyssa Willetts reports on the big day.
It started out as a simple request for birthday cards, but grew into a citywide celebration. Evelyn Zexer was born in Alma January 13, 1920, making Thursday her 102nd birthday.
She looks about 80, maybe. I mean, you'd never ever guess that she was 102.
I still do most of my own work. Lived here all my life and loved it.
The community came together to mark the occasion with a birthday parade. Her first stop was the church she was baptized in as a child and where she later got married. Happy birthday to you! There, she got a special surprise from the students before heading down Main Street. Along that street were several local businesses participating in Evelyn Zexer Day, like El Corral Mexican Restaurant.
I'll have one taco, ground beef.
One taco, ground beef.
$1.02.
For the $1.02, yeah.
And Alma Bakery and Sweet Shop.
It's all about Evelyn today. I'm having $1.02 cinnamon rolls in her honor, and I've sold a lot of them, and I'm still making them.
Friends say it's the perfect example of Evelyn's impact.
She always has a smile on her face. She never says an unkind word about anyone. She's just a very kind, loving, beautiful person, inside and out.
And Evelyn says it is hard to put into words just how much this means to her.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just exciting. It's exciting. I can't believe they do this for me.
Believe it, Evelyn. Evelyn still loves getting birthday cards. Just this week alone, she received more than 100 of them. 102 maybe? I don't know, but it's nice to see this community recognizing what a treasure they have and celebrating her as they do. Snow coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, rain for many of us to start the late night out, but the snow will be coming in as the temperatures take a tumble. 34 is the best we can do during the day tomorrow. Periods of light to moderate snow, something we'll still watch, but come Saturday night and Sunday, it's out of here.
Final sports note.
Webb City moves to 1-1 in the conference as they fall to Ozark tonight.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Please do be careful out there and let's make it a great weekend.